Welcome everyone to Real Talk with My Homies. I'm your host, Jake Wardrop, licensed real estate agent with Homepage Realty in Louisville, Kentucky. Today I'm joined by Carrie King, part owner and broker associate at Homepage Realty. Carrie spent the last 19 years, almost 2 decades, selling real estate in the state of Kentucky, specifically Louisville and the surrounding counties. According to the MLS, this does not count off-market deals. She has sold 449 homes.
Wow.
For a grand total of $133 million,
Wow.
423,493.
I had no idea.
Wow, that's a
Tired.
lot. That
Tired.
is a lot. So you've sold a few houses.
Yeah, a couple.
Yes, Carrie partnered with George Barrett shortly after Homepage was founded, and a huge reason, if not the reason in my opinion, that this brokerage is able to create eye-popping content, incredible marketing, the best agents, and rapid growth over the last few years. I came to Homepage in December of 21, so it's only fitting that this episode is released on my 3-year anniversary. Carrie has given me a hard time over the last several months as to why she's not been on the podcast, but as I told her, there's a method to the madness. So, quick backstory. I came to Homepage in December of 21, like I said. At that time, I'd sold about 18 homes for just over $3 million. Not terrible numbers for a new agent, in my opinion. I got licensed in July of 2020, but I was a part-time agent. I really didn't understand the industry as a whole. Since joining Homepage in December of 21, I've sold 88 homes for over $22 million.
Insane. Great.
So I wanted to have you on my episode for my 3-year anniversary, and just personally thank you for allowing me to be the agent that I am. So welcome to the show, and thank you.
That's awesome. I just, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I bet he's just probably saving the best for last.
Exactly. It's Christmas. Tis the season.
Tis the season.
So,
well, that is awesome. Let's talk about your numbers first. Certainly, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. It's a huge deal to have that much success so early in your career.
Thank you.
A lot of people do not see that. I did not experience that. So certainly kudos to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Other than that, how are we today?
We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
You were on the phone earlier. Did you lock up a deal?
I'm trying.
Close?
Yeah, we're getting close. So, just trying to get the final details worked out.
Perfect. All right. We do this with everybody. Icebreaker question. You have sold a lot of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
You've sold houses to the movers and shakers of the city. You've rubbed shoulders with them, gone to parties with them. But the ultimate question is, who is the most famous person in your cell phone?
Ooh, most famous person in my cell phone.
Local, national, your choice.
Probably my favorite, Russ Smith.
I saw a picture of you and him just the other day.
He's my fave.
Yeah.
He's my fave. Yeah. We've sold to a lot of coaches, a lot of players, and Russ is just, who doesn't love Russ Smith? Everyone loves that cat.
Even UK fans can't wait for us, even after he left. Not when he was at U of L, but after he left, even some UK fans are like, he's not that bad.
He's a fan favorite for sure. Yeah.
Would he pick up if you called?
I think so.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you to call.
Should we try? Yeah.
No, I'm not going to ask you to call him, but
I don't want to look foolish. He might be busy.
All right.
Selling his bourbon.
Yes, that is. I've not had that yet. We need to get some. All right. Ad read time. At Cardinal Movers, a local moving company since 2014 with over 3,000 Google reviews. They specialize in making your move as smooth and stress-free as possible. Their team of clean-cut professional movers is dedicated to handling your belongings with the utmost care and efficiency. Visit their website at cardinalmoving.com or give them a call at 502-599-2661 to get a free quote. I have personally used them myself, not because of the ad read, but when we moved into our house about 4 years ago, they helped us, and they even unloaded a U-Haul truck that I loaded myself. So
they're good.
I stand behind them as my favorite, not because they're paying me, but because they are my favorite movers in the area.
So they're good. Dustin Mattingly, shout out to him.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Christmas time.
Yep.
What is your favorite Christmas song?
My favorite Christmas song. So here's the deal. Christmas, is kind of for the kids, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like I should be saying Jingle Bells or something.
Rudolph.
Probably, yeah, Rudolph, yeah. Maybe Santa Baby is
that's not a bad one.
It's cute, but Mariah Carey, right? All of her, All I Want for Christmas.
Yeah.
All of those songs are probably top of the list.
I'll throw you a curveball for mine, only because my daughter sings it all the time, is Last Christmas by Wham.
That's a good one. That is, I do like some Wham. That's a good one.
My daughter sings that all the time, and it's hilarious to me.
It's cute.
That she sings songs by Wham.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
At the age
bringing
of
it back.
Best Christmas cookie.
The gingerbread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like gingerbread.
You don't? I do.
No.
With coffee.
Yeah, I could do the coffee. Mine would be either Pinwheels or Buckeyes.
Buckeyes are good.
Yes, my grandma used to make Pinwheels. They were amazing. I don't know why, but no one ever made the same ones. That hers always tasted better and slightly different.
Because it's your grandma.
That's true. Best Christmas movie.
Clark Griswold.
Christmas Vacation.
Right, Christmas Vacation. Yep.
I'll go with Elf.
Okay.
And a piggyback off of that is I've got a really hot take.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think Christmas Story is a really bad Christmas movie.
With Ralphie?
Yeah, not a fan. I don't like it.
How come?
Oh, I just don't like it. I've tried. Like, it's not for lack of effort. I just don't like it. Okay. I think it's kind of boring.
Fair enough.
It's, you know, if it's on,
fast forward. Just
yeah, I mean, there's people that'll like watch it on repeat on Christmas Day. I don't understand those people.
I don't either. Truthfully.
I mean, I could do Christmas Vacation back to back. Like, I'm not by choice, but like if it's on, I'm not going to be upset that it's going again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you told me that you're not a huge Christmas traditionalist.
True.
That's fair. But you do travel to the warmer weather.
Mm-hmm. True.
So Santa Claus on the beach.
Yes.
But you do I want to make sure we give credit where credit is due. You do a ton of charitable work, philanthropy during the holidays.
Yes.
What is on the docket for this Christmas season for Carrie and the brokerage? And how can anyone listening do anything to help?
Sure. So we're doing our coat drive again.
Okay.
This is our 8th year doing it, which is incredible. I've teamed with Patrick Fogarty, Aaron Fogarty, James Sweezy. There's Elena Sweezy. We have been doing this the last several years. So started out just really wanting to kind of focus on those in addiction recovery. And we have started donating things to the Healing Place. It just kind of grew. And so now we're able to donate to multiple organizations. It's funny. People now call me and say, hey, are you doing the coat drive this year? Can I start dropping coats off? Like, when are you going to, open that up? So it is important. I mean, I think Christmas is a time that we all remember those in need, but I've said many times, like, there's nothing really sweet and sexy about addiction. People, a lot of times want to focus on the kids, which I think absolutely we need to focus on as well. But, the men and the women who are trying to get their lives back on track is important to me personally. So that is where we've donated.
Fantastic. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, perfect.
Video to come, more information to come.
Great. It'll probably be out.
Yeah,
by the time this goes up.
Right, that's right. And Homepage is always a drop-off. I do want to plug that. Like, if anyone ever has any donation items, clothing, anything at all that they want to donate, just drop it off, and I will make sure it gets delivered.
I will add that please make sure it's gently used.
Sure, yes. It's not absolutely new or gently used.
Let's not become Goodwill.
Thank you, Jake.
I will fall on that sword.
Good point.
All right, real estate stuff.
Sure.
Okay, time to get to the meat and potatoes of this. Unfortunately, we got to do what we're supposed to do.
Okay.
All right, it's a safe assumption that I think a lot of agents aspire to the level of success that you have in this industry. It is no secret you've sold a lot of houses. So I was trying to kind of figure out what route to go when talking to you. And I kind of want to go more of the kind of how do you get into I would say you're probably a luxury. You sell more luxury homes than you do, first-time home buyers. I think that's safe.
Either way.
But you didn't always do that.
No.
You sold $100,000 houses. Like, I was looking at your history, and I saw like a $45,000 house back in 2012 with Jay Pitts. I was like, all right, there's two people that are kind of movers and shakers in this industry. And they're here doing deals, for $45,000 properties, 10 years ago. So there's a quote that I heard not too long ago, and I think it really applied to you, is from the comedian Jimmy Carr. It said, people are jealous of what you've got, not how you got it.
So true.
So
true. I could speak on that for 2 days.
Yes. So with that being said, when did you kind of start to notice a shift in your real estate career? Like, you're not working with these first-time home buyers, you're kind of moving into more higher-end homes. When did that kind of hit? What maybe started that process?
I think kind of as you grow up, right? Like, when I got into real estate, I was younger, obviously, and I've kind of grown up with my clients along the way. Like when I first started, my clients weren't buying $1 million homes, but as you grow and as your business grows and as you grow in your career, then it just kind of amplifies that, right? I mean, certainly I did not start out. I mean, let me say this, my first year in real estate, I sold 2 homes and one of them I bought for $67,000.
One of them was yourself?
Yes. I was the buyer for one and I had one client.
I didn't pull numbers by year, but that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's like, when people, yes, I mean, to that point, and people definitely, want to say, oh, well, I want to do this or I want to do, and you just have to do it. I mean, I worked 2 jobs for 6.5, 7 years. And so I did hair prior to real estate. So from the first 7 years, I mean, think about that. I've been licensed for 19. So 7 years, my first 7 years, I was still doing hair while doing real estate because I couldn't make enough money just doing one. So I promise you, out the gate,
did you always know that that real estate was the end goal, or was it? Did you get into real estate knowing it was going to be the end all be all, or was it like, let's just figure out, it's another source of income, let's figure it out?
I sold one condo. I bought my first condo when I was 23 years old. I sold it almost 5 years later. I almost doubled in price what I had paid for it. And I thought, and really it was just cosmetic changes that I went in and made, just aesthetics. And people liked it. And I thought, oh gosh, I've made more money off this one sale than I made all last year. Maybe I should do that again.
Yes, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, right. Rinse and repeat. So that's how the whole thing started. I mean, I just, and also I should say, Marilyn Belak, who is a realtor here in town, was my neighbor for years. I wanted to be her when I grew up. I did. And she hustled and she had, this great life and traveled and had 2 great kids and was able to provide and do all these things. Now, that's what it looked like, of course, from the outside. She hustled, but I loved, I loved her. I love her dearly. And she was kind of my role model in getting all this started. So
that's awesome. What was when you first got started, what would you say was your biggest mistake?
Not trying to jump in with both feet sooner. I was just afraid. I was afraid. If I would have had the confidence to try to, if I would have had the confidence, I think, in the support, really, to, someone who believed in me, because I did not believe in myself. I knew I was great at hair and makeup and styling. I was kind of learning the real estate thing, and so I think if I would have maybe quit my other job a little bit earlier and forced myself to be successful in real estate, then maybe I would have been.
I thought I was super jealous of, gosh, it was maybe a few weeks ago. We had one of the newer agents in, and somebody, I think maybe George had said it, where this is, sorry, I forgot his name.
Yep.
But it was, I haven't met him officially yet, but this is so-and-so, he's going to get licensed, he's going all in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, I wish I had the courage to do that. Like I got licensed in 2020, middle of the year, and I didn't even think to have the courage until the middle of 22 to even consider going all in.
It's not that long, though.
No, it's not. It's not in hindsight, but in the moment, I'm like, gosh, I've been doing this for 2 years and I still haven't figured out how to make this a full-time job yet. To me, like I don't have patience, and to me, it was, I was insufficient in doing that. I should have been full-time by now. If I'm going to be good at this, I should have already been full-time.
Yeah.
And that's clearly not the case.
No. Maybe I felt like I was holding myself back. I could have maybe done more sooner.
Well, I think some of it too is when you become a realtor, you're all in on commission only. Commission only. It is, you eat what you hunt, and that is it. If you don't make a sale, you don't get paid. We don't,
People don't realize that.
Yes.
It just thinks that we're over here just printing money,
Yes, it is. And one thing I always remind myself in this industry is we're compensated for results, not effort.
So true.
You can try as hard as you want, but if the house doesn't sell, your seller doesn't care.
So true.
I tried really hard. Well, that's great.
Doesn't matter.
I'm sure you're a great person, but I hired you to do a job. I didn't hire you to become my friend.
And I appreciate what you said about, something about like seeing the journey. Because certainly my life now looks much different than it did when I started. I mean, it looks much different. 10 years into Homepage looks way different than year 1 and 2 and 3. And just because you own a business, we were just getting started.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know what we were doing. And that doesn't mean, owning a business does not equate to dollars, right?
Very much so. I know that personally.
Yes.
What's a valuable lesson, as we continue to talk about growth, what's a valuable lesson that maybe you picked up along the way?
I think the big thing, I always say, like, if people know you, love you, trust you, those are your clients. I think the valuable lesson is be true to yourself, be authentic, get involved, be a good person, be kind, because as soon as you are not kind to the other side, or as soon as you have an issue with a client, or as soon as you want to bellyache and complain, like that, people will sense that. If you can just stay positive, like real estate's never going to be super easy. But specifically, I would say to the other side, like working with the other agent, be nice. Just be nice. If you're nice to people, I mean, they remember that. So I think be nice to the other side. Be nice to your clients. It's very easy.
It is, but sometimes people don't understand that,
No,
unfortunately.
they don't.
What strategies do you implement now? Because high-end clients are a lot different than first-time home buyers. First-time home buyers don't know what they don't know. I think a lot of high-end clients, some of them, not all of them, think they could potentially do the job without you. I think the smart ones, though, are like, hey, I don't diagnose myself at the doctor. I don't do my own taxes. I hire professionals. I have an attorney that handles stuff. I hire professionals to do it. I'm going to hire a realtor to do it. What are some of the things that can make you attract those high-end clients?
Advertising, marketing, putting yourself out there, being top of mind. I mean, all of those things. I mean, kind of just going back to the basics, even,
Anything specific, though, that you can think of?
And
not to put you on the spot, I just hear the say top of mind all the time. It's like, well, no one really ever, let's dive into what are things that you can do to stay top of mind?
Farming a neighborhood. I mean, but so much of it, let's be honest. I mean, how many farming postcards do you get? You get them. I do too. And of course, I look at them and inspect them and see all the things. But I am telling you, real estate is very simple. If you are a good person, and if you are nice to people, and if you do a good job, that person that you just worked with is going to tell the next person, who will tell the next person, who will tell the next person. It's that easy. I have built my entire business on friends, family, and referrals.
Did you ever buy leads? Back in the day? Did you try the Zillow route?
I did not, only because I watched Dateline, and I'm afraid. Yeah. And I just didn't. But George did. And George was, he was Rookie of the Year at Simenon. So it works. I mean, that route, there's no shame in anyone's game. Like, buy the leads, do the thing.
Yeah.
I just did not. I mean, I think, we just have to be careful, and it's just not what I wanted to do.
I did the lead thing through Zillow for maybe 6 months. I think I had a deal fall in my lap. And this was at the previous brokerage before Homepage. I had a deal fall in my lap. And I was like, I'll take half the commission. I'll put it towards Zillow, see if I can, reinvest in my business and grow. And I think I got maybe 10 leads out of it the whole 6 months. I was able to get maybe 1 or 2 of them even on the phone. I was able to schedule one of them a showing. And then they ghosted me. They didn't even show up to the showing. I'm like, I just wasted a significant amount of money trying to buy leads for people that there is no loyalty.
Well, and here's
at all.
There's not. And here's
Zillow.
There's Zillow.
Oh,
yes, absolutely. I hear you, because they don't know you.
Exactly.
If they had a relationship with you, that wouldn't be the case, but they don't.
Half the time, I think they're talking to the listing agent.
Yeah, and it's easy to hide behind the phone, right? And for them not to fight back. But if you think about this, if you would have thought about, let's just pretend however much money I had known you, $200 a month. If you would have thought, hey, I could have taken 4 clients out to lunch, 4 past clients. I could have taken 4 friends to lunch. I could have taken 10 people to coffee.
Yeah.
That would have been a better use of your time.
1,000%. That, and I've made a lot of mistakes in real estate. I'd say that is probably one of my biggest mistakes, is the putting money in, and no offense to Zillow, but putting money into Zillow. That was probably one of my biggest mistakes.
Well, it's all changed.
It yielded nothing for me.
Yeah, it's all changed. And I think, I think just spending, someone told me, they're like, don't ever go to lunch alone. In business, never go to lunch alone. And so if
We're
we're
going to lunch alone.
well, yes.
I'm going to go to lunch alone today, and by design.
But if you think about building your business, right? What if you were to call a friend or to call a past client or to call, and to take them with you, of course, you're not asking for business. That's like what I mean when I say staying top of mind.
Yeah.
I am just a good friend to people. I am just a good, I follow up well. And here's the other secret. I buy good gifts. Buy good gifts for your clients when you close.
Yeah.
Work the metal. I love that place. They will wrap your gifts so beautifully. People love getting that Tiffany blue box. They know what they're getting. They love it.
Yeah.
Buy good gifts.
I normally do like the generic, liquor, wine, or whatever. But now I've started incorporating. I found this new company, and I don't do free ads, but we'll give a free ad to them. Bizbox.com.
Okay.
And they will send your client within like 3 to 4 business days, 30 medium-sized boxes, all the packing supplies you could possibly need.
That's cool.
And the box has my logo on it, like my name, my phone number, and we just got new headshots done, so I'm going to add my headshot to it.
Good.
I don't want to do the old one because honestly, I don't think I look much like my old headshot. But
New headshots are important.
yes, new headshots are important. So I'm going to do the new headshot that we just got done a couple weeks ago, have that put on the box. And I can't tell you how many moving boxes I still have in my basement from 2 moves ago that never got unpacked. So I'm thinking to myself, if I'm on their boxes, I'm sitting in their garage every single day, they're going to see my face, they're going to see my name. I have a really easy phone number, which adds to the help as well and staying top of mind.
Sure.
I started doing that, and I asked a client, I was like, hey, buddy, he's a friend of mine. I was like, you're the guinea pig on this. How was it? He was like, dude, it was awesome. I loved the boxes. They were so nice. They were good quality. He said, I got a little too aggressive with the tape gun, though, and I broke the tape gun, but the tape worked just fine.
I do have, can I plug one thing?
Go for it.
We're sitting
Plug away.
we're sitting in our Germantown office, right?
Yes.
So Tim O'Connell, he does these beautiful house portraits.
Uh-huh.
That is something else that I think is really not a really great closing gift. And here's why. Because every time they look at it, just like you're saying, people love, especially they're moving on, they're leaving, departing the house that they've brought kids home in, that they've raised kids in, that they've lived in for however many years. You get them a nice house portrait, they hang it up, they will forever think of you. And it's so personalized. People love that. Tim O'Connell, he does all my house portraits. He's amazing.
I've used that gift several times in my house. I gave one to my parents.
They love it.
It was for the house that they bought when they got married. They lived in that same house for 30-something years, almost 30 years. And it was all they ever knew and all they ever wanted. But, things change.
Yeah.
They needed something a little more maintenance-free. So they moved, and, we were able to commemorate that with, we didn't use your guy. I have a friend that does it, actually.
It's great.
But same thing.
Yes.
The same concept.
People love it. People love
and
that.
it still sits there right on the front of there. Because you're not going to put that away. You're not going to store it away. You're going to leave that out. Like I said,
great.
Always think about it.
It's a great gift.
Let's see. What are some good qualities that a good realtor should have?
They should answer their phone.
Yes. Greatest ability is availability.
Yeah. Steve Hall, just a Louisville legend. He says, hair dye, bourbon, and answer the phone. I agree with that. Like, you gotta,
you gotta dye your hair.
You gotta dye your hair. Let me go back to my home. But if we equate dye your hair to get up, dress up, show up.
Yep.
I do think you have to be ready. Because here's the deal. The phone call I just got, they want me to go look at a house in, an hour. If I'm laying in my bed and not ready, but I'm dressed and ready.
Yes.
And so I think
with Taylor Swift shirt on.
With my Swiftie shirt on, yeah. But you stay ready and you answer your phone and you're nice. I'm telling you, you can get so much business just from that.
Yes. Speaking of answering your phone, it is officially, have you talked to anyone about your insurance lately? All those people are calling again and sending the text messages. I work with NAR. I work with so-and-so, helping realtors with Medicare, Medicaid, insurance, whatever. My phone has been blowing up for the last week.
Has it?
Oh, my God.
All the text messages and stuff.
Insane. It's officially that time of year. Yeah. So what are... so you don't find leads. You do referrals. How do you handle difficult clients?
I mean, we're all kind of difficult.
Yeah,
Like
we are.
we're really like we're not really in the business of houses. We are in the business of people. With people comes problems, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe I just can handle conflict well. Um, I think remaining calm. I think saying less and listening more. I think knowing when to call your attorney. All of those things because, certainly we kind of have like a chain of, if you have a problem, you call your PA. If you need someone, if the PA can't answer, you call Andrea. If Andrea can't answer, you call George. If George can't answer, you're calling Lee Harris or whomever, fill in the blank, right? And so I think just knowing like, okay, now is the time. But people are difficult. I'm difficult. You're difficult, I'm sure. We're all, we all have our level of issues.
You can ask my wife. I'm very difficult.
I'm not, but I mean, I know most people are.
What is, just to piggyback on some of the luxury stuff again, what are some of like the biggest differences that you notice when it comes to negotiations? Is it like when you're dealing with either the realtor or the clients in general? Are they asking for like toilets to get tightened down like you would in a first time home? Are they asking for U brackets on a deck to be reattached? Like what's the conversation like that maybe is different? Or is it like, what, this is the house. If you like it, buy it. If you don't. This is what we're selling.
Yes. I mean, that was kind of the conversation I had earlier, something off market, and so there's multiple people interested. And at that time you have to decide like what's important. Do we want to get the house and worry about repairs later? Or do we want to go through this crazy process and probably not get chosen? Right. Yeah. It's just all the same. I mean, it is, whether it's $100,000 or $1 million home. I mean, it's all, negotiations are typically the same. Now, the environment that we've been in for the last several years, these unicorn years, people are waiving things.
Yes.
We never did that before. That was never a thing.
We bought this house in 2013, 2014, something like that. And the conversation of inspection and repairs, we didn't have one. It was just assumed.
Yeah,
we inspect them, assumed we get to ask for repairs. As long as it's within reason, they're going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends. I mean, it's supply and demand, right? So if there's a bunch of people who want a house, then you're having to write things out. But it's all the same. I mean, because again, it comes back to the people, and it just depends on what is important to your client.
Mm-hmm. What's maybe one of the newest trends that you've noticed in this market, for good or bad, outside of the NAR stuff, because I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
We've talked about that enough. It is what it is now.
Mm-hmm. Newest trends, I mean, it's not a new one. I think contingencies are back. People are now writing contingent offers again. They didn't before. I mean, the last 5 years. The appraisal gap. I mean, that is something, if you can't waive the appraisal, I mean, people are doing appraisal gaps. Something a little cooler is, of course, the interior drone. We're doing that. Jeff Ivory's rocking those out. Those are awesome.
I think sometimes, though, that needs a specific property. If you're something like
water has to be pretty.
Well, yeah, like, and if you're doing like a 3-bed, 1-bath ranch, it's 800 square feet.
Yeah, it's
like,
a little different.
Drone's cool, but are you really moving the needle on the marketing with that? Maybe. But like you said, every corner of the house has to be pristine because you're seeing the whole thing. It's not a Matterport thing. It is a fly through.
Seeing it all. Can't hide anything there. So I think it's important that everything is perfect and polished.
Yes. So 19 years, that puts you back to 2005.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the biggest differences between then and now? We did a whole episode with Rebecca O'Toole on this, actually.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I watched that.
But I think we did before 2005. I can't remember the exact years, but we did a then versus now episode. In your mind, though, what are some of the differences between then and now?
Goodness, I would have to think about that. I mean, probably inventory, was a big one.
What was inventory like back then?
Well, we had just come, 2005, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we were kind of it was depressing when I got into real estate. People were literally like, why are you going to ruin your life? Why are you doing this? Do not do this. And thank God I didn't listen to any of them. But it was just a different time. The economy was different. Rates were different. And so, yeah, I got into it at a time like HGTV hadn't really taken off. I mean, HGTV, I think, is kind of what made real estate like cool.
I'd say that maybe HGTV probably had like maybe 5% of the reason why I got into it.
Yeah,
Not a big reason, but it was
watching the shows.
It definitely played a factor.
For sure. And so that was kind of, before all of that. But I think there were a lot of foreclosures at that time. You could go to the courthouse and still buy houses. We're in Germantown right now. You could buy a house in Germantown back then for $40,000, $50,000. We are the foolish ones that didn't buy them all up, when they were available.
Now they're, low twos, low threes.
Low
fours.
I sold St. Michael for $700. So
that was a very unique property.
it was unique. I am gonna pat myself on the shoulder. It was a hot one.
That was a pretty cool one.
It was a unicorn.
Yes, definitely a unicorn in Germantown.
It was a cool house. It is a very cool house for sure. So,
all right, last thing, and we will get out of here because
Yeah.
we have hit the mark. What is the future of real estate? And to piggyback off of that, what is the future of Homepage?
Okay. The future of real estate, I think that we're going to have a little bit of a correction. I think that we're going to, the prices cannot continue just to soar forever and ever, right? I think that we're going to have a little bit of a market correction here over the next couple of years. I think that rates are going to come back and be a little bit lower, not as low as they were. I don't know if we'll see 3% rates anytime soon, if ever.
I think the world's in a bad place if we see 3% again. I think you may not be worried about your buying and selling of real estate if we get back to that.
Right.
I think there's other factors in play for that.
Yes, but it's a great time to have a correction, right?
Yes.
And I think that, I think that real estate, also, I think we have a lot of realtors right now. I think that the ones who are really committed are going to stay committed and stay in. And I think the ones that thought, oh, this is easy and I'll just do a couple deals a year, they may decide to get out of it.
Yeah.
As far as Homepage goes, this is our 10th year. It's so hard to believe. It feels like it was a year ago, and some days it feels like it was 30 years ago that we started. We're at a great place, we don't, we have just grown organically. We don't recruit. We don't try to get new agents. Everyone who comes, it's, through word of mouth. And so I think we'll continue to take on the right agents. We'll continue to train our agents and grow the business, as we see.
Felt like there was a big growth, honestly, right around the time that I came.
Do you know why?
That's what I was going to ask you. I don't know why.
I do. Because of our office.
I didn't come because of the office.
Well, we had just moved into the office, and there was a lot of hype.
Because at the time, I had a full-time job, so an office was irrelevant to me.
I think that when we moved in, though, we had a great little place in St. Matthews.
Yeah.
It was tiny. It was not much bigger than this room. It was a great office. We loved it, right? But once we, I think, kind of arrived, if you will, once we had a legit office, we bought the building, we did the renovation, and it was beautiful. Somewhere where people felt proud to come. I think that helped our growth. But I also did the office. So I think that's the reason.
Yeah.
I think it helped. I certainly think it helped.
Yeah, because it definitely, and that was what, honestly, that's what prompted me to figure out, okay, I'm seeing all these posts about people joining Homepage or this, now all of a sudden I see a bunch of listings from Homepage. I'm like, what the heck's going on over there?
That's what I mean.
Let's figure it out. And then we're like, okay, they're walking the walk and talking the talk. We're going to make a move. Now I need to do my due diligence. Is actually Homepage, because I had interviewed with one brokerage before, and I went to that brokerage. Didn't shop around, didn't even really understand that I could. It was kind of like, oh, I like this, we'll go here. And then you start to learn, okay, this offers this offers this is what full service is. This is, do you want to make more money, but then also kind of have to manage more stuff. And you start to learn all the pros and cons of what different places have. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I met with you and Tiffany, and I was like, this is real.
Yeah.
This is pretty sweet. And then, all right, let's step back. We did this once before, and we weren't completely satisfied with the result. Let's take a step back. And I think I met with 3 or 4 others after you. And then I was like, okay, now I'm ready to make the decision. And thankfully,
that makes me very happy. No, and we're thrilled to have you. And I should say this: the truth is, what has made us very successful is our staff, our media team, the team that we have that work. Because George and I are just a small part of this, right? We have an incredible staff.
Yeah, the culture starts at the top. You can pass the kudos down, and rightfully so. They deserve it, but culture starts at the top.
Well, thank you. Yes, and yes, so I do appreciate that. But certainly our staff and our media team, I always say like the media department is like the heartbeat of our office, right? And then everything else kind of flows out of that. But that is how we've been able to gain agents who get it. We are not for everyone. If you don't want to do videos and get updated headshots all the time and have lifestyle shots and, do all these things that I think are important, then, there's 100 other brokerages for you. That's just what we're doing. We have a very good staff and we have very good agents who continue to attract very good other agents. So, our agents are how we've gotten other agents. It's just kind of
Yeah, the guy that
crazy.
helped me buy my first house was a teammate of mine in college. And when he wanted to make a switch, he called me and said, "Hey, what's Homepage got?" And so we met, and thankfully I was able to sit in on it and kind of hear what George had to say, because I didn't get to hear the George pitch when I joined. Now I got to hear the George pitch, so that was cool. But he's with us as well, so it was. He noticed, awesome. And he's got a ton of friends that are realtors.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So he noticed something was going on there that's worth coming over to and wanted to come.
It's special. It is special. I am so fortunate. And yes, of course, we all get cranky sometimes with our jobs. Truly, I feel so fortunate that I get to do this. It is beyond my wildest dreams. Everything that I wanted to have happened. We just have we run our office like an ad agency. I always wanted to own a modeling agency. I had my headshot wall, Jake. I had all the things,
You're as close to it as you can get.
I don't know if I can get any closer, so I love it.
Well, that is it. I appreciate everything.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your confidence in me being able to do this.
No, we love and appreciate you.
And I think at this point, we may have some awesome news that we might be able to announce in a different post. So,
okay.
Teaser there.
Okay. I do want you to just acknowledge my
I did. We have a
Swifty shirt.
Swifty shirt. I've got Nakatomi Plaza Christmas Party.
Okay, good.
The controversial, is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like getting into that because
Sure.
everyone else is going to talk about that. But the answer is yes, it is a Christmas movie. The opening scene is a Christmas party, which is yes. So I was upset we didn't get the Snoop shirt, though.
I know it was dirty. So next time.
We'll get you next Christmas.
Yeah, next Christmas.
Next Christmas. All right. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
No, thank you for having me on. Truly, I appreciate it.
I told you there was a method to the madness.
I was starting to get my feelings hurt, so.
I had to wait for the anniversary. I wanted to thank you on camera for the rest of eternity to be able to watch it. So
we appreciate you and your creativity and all of the things, all the business, all the cool juju you bring our way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Other than that, we will get out of here.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Enjoy the beach.
Oh, yeah, thanks. We will.
Thanks.
Thanks.